Greetings, diners, and it is time for another fabulous fish meal here on the Doomstead Diner. We're going to be having salmon, or as much as I can eat of it today. And then most of it is going to go for a salmon dip afterwards. If you look here, you've got one very nice, pristine fillet that's more or less ready to go, and then one that is kind of ugly, chopped up into bits by the bad arms of the knife wielder here. But even though it's kind of chopped up, the sashimi that I got out of it was very good, and what is left over here is also going to be very good. At least I hope so. So we're going to prepare this salmon to go into the toaster oven and get roasted, and see what that comes out like, right? And the first thing that we're going to need on there is some seasoning. And for this one, I think I will use a little Old Bay, which is a very good, fish seasoning to use. Just don't get careless and dump too much of it on, because you'll salt up your fish too much. And then after that, I think I will add to it some fresh dill, and when you're doing it this way, you really don't even have to chop up the dill. You can just lay on the sprigs as they come off the vine, and that will be fine. Nice rhyme there, unintentional but very nice. And then we've got some seasoning on there. We're going to need some pepper, even though the Old Bay actually has some pepper in it. We're going to want a little more. Okay, unlike garlic, you can have too much pepper. But in this case, I think we were reasonably frugal in the amount of pepper we used. So that's two things. I'm not going to add garlic to this one for a change, because I'll probably add some later when I make it into a dip, a salmon dip. But for now, it doesn't need the garlic. And I want to taste the salmon as the salmon comes out. And we'll use our ulu knife now. And don't use this guy too often. Like I said before, it is relatively cheap steel, touristy item, and not that great. But for what I'm about to do, which is just cut a slab of butter, it works just fine. Okay, so we've got a slab of butter here to drop on our salmon. And butter is another one of those things you probably can't have too much of. And then we're going to add walnut oil, a little bit, not much. This shit is expensive, but gives a nice flavor to your food, and your meats especially. And so now that's basically everything we want on it, and we're going to wrap it up so that all of the good stuff is in the middle. And I forgot to mention, we have a lemon here. You can, fish is always good with a little lemon. So, I recommend using fish or using lemon when you are baking some fish. But it's up to you. You know, it's not a necessary item or essential item, but it is a good item, in my opinion. And again, you know, whenever you're making a meal, you do have to consider your own opinion, which is the most important one. Fuck the patrons and fuck everybody else. It's what I want to eat, right? Alright, so it's all wrapped up, and now this little package is going to go into the toaster oven for probably around 30 minutes or so. I don't like to overdo my fish. And you can see that the wrap-up job is quite easy. And unfortunately, this aluminum foil is going to go to the great beyond after the meal, because you can't reuse it when you do something like this. And that's too bad. But, you know, if you're alive, you're human, you live in the industrial culture, then you will make trash. And so I'm making some trash along with my meal. Alright, into the oven we go. Toaster oven.